Okay, welcome to another Becoming a Modern Man. Here we are with the Restore Balance deck I've been using. This is the third video I've done with it in total, and this time we're going to be taking on a blue-white-red control matchup. Let's see if we can get this up. Oh, we're on the bottom for a change, that's good. So here's our opener. We've got two cascade spells, which is good. Maybe we'd like a few more border posts, but I think this is a keeper. Try and run with it. Put these off colonnade, draw another border post, so that's good. So we can play that out. And just drops a Scalding Tarn. I'm going to play another border post and say go. Sacks a Tarn. And plays the plains. My land here, we haven't really got a whole lot else to do, and essentially we can play Violent Outburst anytime now, thanks to being able to keep the mountain. Decided to suspend the Restore Balance, just put some pressure on him, pretty much, and see how he responds. Plays the Lingering Souls, and then passes the turn. We're okay with that. It's not the most amount of pressure. His opponent flashes back Lingering Souls and attacks. Said now is a good time to try the Violent Outburst, considering if he can counter the Restore Balance, I can still use Ardent Plea, and I've got enough mana to stop a Spell Pierce or something like that. So I think really good. It would be a good time to try and get the Restore Balance off. So he leaks your first Restore Balance from the Outburst, but now I'm going to use my Ardent Plea. Oh, I actually played the extra border post, which is a risk because if he does have Spell Pierce, I actually can't do anything about it now. The Simian Spirit Guide only makes me 1 mana, but so if I was playing more cautiously, I would have not done that. But as it turns out, he doesn't have anything, and this way I can actually get him down to 1 land. So there's the Restore Balance, and yeah, our opponent concedes. A little early for the concession, seems though we actually don't have a win condition yet. But he's definitely in a bad position from there, and presumably didn't see much of a chance. So that was game 1. Move on to game 2. So this is another decent hand. We've got a couple of border posts. Blood Moon seems like it would probably be quite good against him if we can land it. And don't have quite the right mana to play Ardent Plea, but I think there's hope in finding it. So I'm going to crack out Island. Play border post. Opponent fetches a Watery Grave. And the Hallowed Fountain, Stony Silence, which is definitely annoying. This is in a very tough spot. Thoughts uses getting rid of our border post. And yeah, we're in a sticky situation here. Border posts aren't particularly useful. I'm going to play one out here anyway, seeing as though saves us from discarding a card at end of turn. But opponent then plays Gifts for Iona. Oh, so it's not a blue-red control deck, it's actually a Gifts deck, I'm guessing. I don't really know, but yeah, definitely has a Gifts package in there, and that's pretty much all for us. So yeah, pack that one up, and on to game 3. So this hand is, yeah, pretty decent, I think. Couple of border posts, got the Ardent Plea, O-Ring, Tezzeret as a potential finisher if we can land it. So just going to lead up as is often the way with this deck, and then drop the second, pass it back. One doesn't have much going on just yet. And find another border post, which is pretty good. Can actually cast Ardent Plea with the border posts we have out. But one of those things you want against the control deck, which makes the game quite complicated, is that you want to play around their counter magic, but at the same time, playing the Cascade spell too early is not going to be particularly useful for you, as it's not going to do a whole lot. I mean, I could have played Ardent Plea, and presuming he didn't have any counter magic, got rid of all his lands, and that would have been a difficult position for him, but we still would have had 5 cards in hand, maybe even more than that, and not necessarily what you want to be doing. At least that's not how I felt anyway. But particularly with the counter magic, I think I want to save this Ardent Plea for slightly later on. Draw Blood Moon here, which is pretty good. We can stick this as all his blues are certainly non-basic, which means that we can stop him from having any counters up, and then we know that it's safe to use our Ardent Plea, which is definitely a good thing. I decided not to play the Blood Moon immediately. The reason was that I was trying to play around Mana Leak. She's a counter that I know he has. And here we actually draw another Blood Moon, which means we can play both Blood Moons at the same time. Meaning we're probably going to get him one way or another. Couldn't use an Electrolyze to deal 2 damage to us. Obviously he didn't have the counter that he needed to deal with the Blood Moon and concedes, which perhaps fair. We probably had this pretty much in hand from then on out. Tezzeret we would have probably played next turn, knowing that he didn't have an ability to counter it, and provided he didn't have a double lightning bolt or something like that, we could have just used that to ultimate eventually, and then beaten that down. So yeah, I think we probably had that game, and I think that was a fair concession this time around. So yeah, we managed to beat this blue-white-red control/gifts deck, and it's quite an interesting matchup.